Hi guys, welcome to my World of Tanks Blitz video. This is a sponsored video. That means I'm being paid to actually do this video. So I won't be thumbing up or thumbing down. And as always, I only do sponsored videos on A, games that I like, and B, free to play games. The game has to be free or I won't do it. So it costs nobody a penny to download this. You can download it from the link in the description here. The game is entirely free. So click the link, go and download it and have a go and you can see what it's like for yourself. I'm going to talk about the MACRAGGE'S Halloween event that's going on, because this event allows you to win, well, unlock if you like, 2 Warhammer 40k tanks that look absolutely awesome. We have the Predator and the Vindicator. We're going to start talking about the Predator first. This is my favourite tank out of the pair. In fact, I don't really like the Vindicator tank. I just didn't like it at all. I love this though. The Predator is such a good tank to drive. It's based off the Rhino's chassis, as you'll probably be able to see that. You can see the profile of it. But it has this awesome gun on the top, and it's an auto-loaded gun. It fires 3 times before you have to reload it. Each shot does reload with, I think it's 1.5 seconds, each of the 3 shots. But after the 3rd shot, it does the full reloading again. And it is a beast on the battlefield. I've had quite a bit of success with this. I've enjoyed it. It's been great fun actually playing this. The only downside I will say of this tank is the depression is pretty poor. I don't know what the depression is, but it's not very good. What that basically means is when the actual gun itself is as far down as you can get it, it doesn't go down very far on this. So if you're in what's called a hold down position, well, it's hard to even get in a hold down position in this tank. That's its weakness. If you're fighting against that, get up close and personal to it, and the gun, you can't actually aim on some of the soft spots of the tank from close range because you just can't move the gun down far enough. I found that really frustrating, and there's clearly a lot of people know that and they know how to combat this tank. But saying that, I still had great fun with it. It is definitely my favourite of the 2 tanks. We'll have a look at the other tank, the Vindicator. It's more of a tank destroyer. It's got this huge shovel on the front. Again, it's the same chassis, but it's got this huge shovel and a big massive drain pipe of a gun. It's just this huge blunderbuss, but it hardly has any depression whatsoever. It is really frustrating. I found it. I had to totally alter my playstyle to play this. I'm not a tank destroyer fan anyway. I much prefer the tanks, but this, I didn't have much luck with it at all. It just didn't like me and I didn't like it. But I tell you what, let's talk about the Predator again, because the Predator, not only does the Predator look good, but it plays really well. It's not the fastest tanks, but it's a tier 7 heavy, and it is really, really strong in the battlefield. It's not overpowered. Well, to be honest, I'm not that good at this game. I've only just been playing it since I started doing this video. I didn't even know this game even existed, guys. So I was quite excited when I kind of realized that this game exists. It plays really different to what I expected. I'm used to big maps in games like this, and the maps in this game aren't that big, and the size is not as big. It's 7v7 in this, but I'm really loving the compact maps. It means that you get stuck into the enemy after about 30 seconds of the match actually starting, which is really good. It's really good for when you're grinding as well, and we're going to talk about the grind now, because the way to get these 2 tanks, it is a grind. It's a grind over the course of this event, which ends on, I think it's the 2nd of November. And you have to collect these emblems, and you get emblems in many different ways. There's 3 different types of emblems that you have to collect to unlock these tanks. And you get them for, say, doing a lot of damage in your first few games of the day, and just generally doing a lot of damage over 10 games, and things like that. There's lots of different ways to get the emblems, and you earn all 3 emblems pretty much at the same time, I think, when you're unlocking them. These tanks were already unlocked for me, so I haven't had to do it, so I don't really know how long it's going to take or anything like that. But anyway, let's get down to some gameplay, and I'll show you these tanks in action. We're going to start with the Vindicator. I didn't like this tank, as I've already said. I did get a few good shots with it, but I just found that it was not my kind of play style. It's probably going to suit somebody who likes tank destroyers. The difference between a tank destroyer and a tank, if you didn't know, is a tank destroyer generally doesn't have a turret on it. It's fixed, and they are tank killers. They do a lot of armor penetration with the gun, but the penalty they have is that they don't have a maneuverable turret on the top. If you play it to its strengths, it's quite a devastating tank. It looks awesome. It looks absolutely great on the battlefield, but I just didn't really get that much joy with it. It certainly wasn't my kind of tank. I mean, I've played tank games like this for a long time, and I just could not get my head into this tank one little bit. It was just frustrating for me. I think it's 2 degrees gun depression, hardly any give on the gun at all, and it just didn't work for me. The Predator, on the other hand, that is way more my style. I'm used to the tier 7, tier 8 category, so I kind of felt straight at home in the Predator. It doesn't have a lot of gun depression, like I said earlier on, so you cannot go hull down very well unless you find a really good spot, and if somebody gets up close and personal, you're in trouble. But where this tank really excels is the auto loader. If you can get a hit on somebody, you can get another 2 straight after that, especially if the first one takes out the track and kind of cripples them for a few seconds. It's devastating. It's also a very powerful gun. You can get some good penetration on this gun, and I had lots of joy with it on the battlefield. I really did feel quite safe in this tank. I mean, I died a lot of times, of course I did. I didn't understand a lot of the maps. I didn't understand having such a small battlefield. How quickly that the enemy can just come round your rear. I got caught out loads of times. I'm not used to the enemy being able to go around the map and up behind you so quickly, so I fell foul of that one at least 5 or 6 times until I kind of got wise to how small the actual maps were. But I really enjoyed my time in this tank. It's a great tank to play. And indeed, the game is really fun to play. It's, like I say, it's free. There's a link in the description. And when you do download this game and get yourself an account set up, you're given a free tank that you can start off on. There's loads of different nationalities of tanks as well. And the game works on the basis of, as you complete a battle, whether you win or lose, you will be given XP. Obviously, the more damage and kills you do, the more XP you'll get, and as well, if your team win, you get more XP. You also get money as well, the in-game currency, and you unlock tanks in this game by way of XP. You unlock the tracks, the base, the turret, the different guns, and then you have to buy them once you've unlocked them with XP, and then you progress up the ranks all the way from tier 1 to tier 10. It's a very, very long grind, but it's a very enjoyable one at the same time, and you've got full platoons that you can play with your friends and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, we're going to finish talking about the 2 tanks, the Predator and the Vindicator. If you want these tanks, you have to get the grind going now and get it all unlocked by, I think it's the 2nd of November. And like I say, you can do that by clicking the link in the description, downloading the game, making your account, and then off you go. Totally free to play, totally worth downloading. It's great fun.